I am live. Welcome. How's my sound? I hope it's okay. Yeah, let's just gonna turn that down. Not a lot of distractions from there. I'm here. And it's time for another live with me, the neurodivergent psychic, and my amazing guides. And maybe the Galactic Council. I'm not sure who's going to show up today, but I do know because amazing things have happened in the weekend, and also today. And I know that we're going to have a love shower. Hi, Marit. Nice to see you. Good evening. Yeah, good kväll. So today I'm happy with the translation thing because now I can have it in many languages. But last time I got so annoyed that when I wrote something in English, it translated to Danish. And Tina says, the sound is amazing. I'm glad. Okay, I just stepped out of the shower. This was one of the days when I thought, everything's going to be amazing. I'm going to make it. And then suddenly it wasn't in flow as I hoped it would be. But those days happen and I'm here. And Tina is excited. Well, so am I actually, because I've had some new experience. Actually, I got my light language got activated, and I am not going to use it today because I still need to practice. But that was so amazing. Hello, darling Freya. Lovely to see you. So if you have anything you want to ask before I get started, because to be honest, I've been at Wild Women Nordic Camp all weekend, got home last evening, and I was exhausted in the good way. So many amazing people, so much love, so much sisterhood, and just a sensation of trust. And I had a lot of crystals and my oils and many things that I wanted to sell, and I didn't have a lot of time to do it. So it was really a trust practice for me to leave out my beautiful crystals and trust that people would pay for them even if I wasn't there. And yeah, so thank you all the lovely people who participated for making me trust humanity in that way. I know that humanity has a long way to go, but I just had the most amazing experience and people were so lovely and I had no reason to fear anything, and that was awesome. So I'm so grateful for the people I meet and the chances I get. I also want to say the challenges, but not today, because I realized I am an awesome manifester. So one of the things that I almost don't want to say because it's kind of anti-feministic, even though I'm a huge feminist, but I thought an entire weekend, only women, what if something happens with, let's say, my car battery? Will someone be able to, will someone be able to help me if my car battery dies? Why would I think that? Because naturally it happened. And yes, someone was able to help me. And it was a woman. And maybe we needed help from a man because we actually got the jack cable to start jumping. I don't know what the cables are called in English, but it started smoking and we realized something was wrong. So we got help from a man, and I hated that. But you know what? What I mean to talk about is how you can manifest things, and sometimes it's easier to manifest the things we're afraid of because the energy there is so intense. The fear can be so intense. And when we want to manifest from joy, it really takes so much trusting and letting go. So the good things I manifest, like for one of them was, it's going to be raining tomorrow and I really need to be able to sell things. And I just said out loud, okay, so if it's raining, I hope a lot of people are going to be trapped where I have my market stall so that I can sell a lot. what happened? Exactly that. And thank you for the people who kept me company and had some good talks with me during the rain at my stall. So yeah, we can manifest so easily, but careful what you wish for, because the fear-based ones, we don't want them to happen. So here's a tip. If you, like me, like to plan, and I like to prepare for whatever may occur that isn't amazing, just in case. I'm the person, I have bandages and antiseptic, this and that. And I always think about, oh, I need lip gloss and maybe some heat lotion or whatever in case someone else need it, and painkillers and whatnot. And it's a good thing to be prepared. But when you are visual like me and you put, oh, what if this happens? And what if instead, just have the, I know everything's going to be amazing. So if you're the one who packs for emergencies, pack, oh, I'm so glad I'm not going to need this, but maybe someone else is. So I'm doing this just in case, so that I can help people and have a good sensation about it, not the, oh, if this happens, I don't have to be afraid. So there are just so many ways to do this. And if you don't believe in manifesting, well, maybe sometimes it might be enough that you don't believe in it for it not to happen. But we tend to attract the energy we send out. And if you send out the catastrophe energy, it's so much easier to attract that. I've tested it many times, not on purpose, but every time I think, oh, I don't want to go to work, and then the bling, 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 I get the cancellations. I've learned now that if I feel tired and I'm thinking, oh man, I'm so tired, why do I have to go to work? Then because I love it. I love the people I'm going to meet, and I change the energy. So it's kind of like I cancel that bad energy and I put in a new one. What do I wish? How do I wish to feel? And what do I want every time? What do I want instead? When you realize that you're in that what I don't want manifestation. So there were a few. So Marit says, yeah, I wanted to ask you about it. You said it last time, and I would love to join. So yeah, that's the Wild Women Nordic Camp I just been to. And it was actually Danish, so I don't know why it's called Nordic. Maybe they have different things, but we were 180 women, and it was here in Denmark, and people were in tents, and many people slept in it was like, I don't know if it was a scout camp thingy, but it was this big thing with a gym room and the canteen and areas for workshops. And it was really amazing. And we had a light ceremony, and people were just so lovely. And there were fire dancers, and it was the first time I'd been with so many women, and it was an amazing experience. So, oh, it's so funny. I just noticed that my viewing number was one higher just a second ago than it is now. And I thought, oh no, people are leaving. So it's like, okay. So I am opening up and attracting the right people that have the time and the energy, because sometimes my energy is very frantic because I was in a hurry to get here. So I'm just going to take a breather and be inviting and not talk about catastrophe. So today it's just tea. Breathe with me and chill. So, and if you have any questions, because the topic today hasn't been really planned, except that we're going to have the love shower, that I know. And it's also something about loving yourself, which is very hard for people. And also for me, that's why I put on a nice dress today, even though I just came out of the shower and I'm only putting it on for you people. No, skip that. I put it on for me and then for you. So yeah, Marit says you have to give us a hint about different events during the summer. Yeah, I wish I was the kind of person who went to all those things. So I would love hints as well. And it can be anywhere in the world, as long as the people who are hosting it aren't doing it to make a ton of money. Because I realized I really like this volunteer contribution, the karma yoga kind of events. So please inform me, and you're welcome. If you have an event like that, my comment section. You can use it to do that if it's not something where you're going to become a millionaire or super rich on the peeps who come to my channel. Yeah. So thank you for sharing and inviting and holding a lovely space. Oh yeah, and by the way, I want to get better at asking for what I want, and I see 4 people watching right now and 2 likes. So if those last people can use any of what I'm saying, then I would love a like for that. Thank you. Okay. I am going to just ask my guides what we're going to do today. Thank you for the like. And if you're not the kind of person who asks questions or comments, because sometimes that can be a bit daunting. And thanks for the love that you're sharing, all of you right now. I love the tiny hearts that come up. It's not good for my concentration, but it's good for my energy of love. Gratitude is such a good, well, I want to say shortcut to a high frequency. So thank you all. Yeah, so as long as you just think about what you'd like me to talk about or what you need to know or just the energy you'd love to receive, my guides, as long as you send out that this is for the universe or your guides, because in case you don't know, they work together. So, and many of the people who come here may somehow recognize some of the energies that I transmit or channel, because many of the people who will find me are being drawn here by their own guides, because we're share some of them, and some of them are kind of in relation. They told me once it was kind of like cousins, but not really. So they're linked somehow. So I don't know if it's the soul family or the star family or whatever, and it doesn't matter. But just know that it's not random or something you're making up. My nose is itchy, so sorry for that. But we are probably linked in more than just the love we're sharing here. Yeah, so if you want to just take a few seconds, this is a good exercise for me too, to just think about if you could ask your soul or your guides or higher entities or God or the universe or the source of all, whatever you feel comfortable with, angels or the Galactic Council, or if you could ask them anything, what would it be that would help you either to take the next step on your journey or to evolve more, or just be more who you feel you need to be in order to rest, to settle in this awesome human life that might be challenging at times, but can have so much power and love and beautiful encounters that can support you. Or sometimes it's people who need the support from you, so that how do you attract the right people and not the ones that are going to drain you and not use what you have to offer in a way that has value. Yeah. And Marit is saying, we are enthusiastic listening to you. We get energy. I think I talk for all. Thank you. Is this week going to be bumpy, or are we living in the bumpiness? Are the energies okay? That means so we can trust the ride. I'm going to ask. Oh, that's funny. I was going to say I'm going to ask Odeon, but I feel like I'm just going to ask. Maybe it's because it's not Odeon who wants to answer. So let's see. So I'm going to connect. And if you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, so I have my own spirit guide team, and they have told me they're called Odeon, but I think it's primarily because I need a name or an identification for them, because they portray themselves as kind of consultancy agency of spirit guides, because they change depending on my needs and my development, and also what the people I'm helping need. So that's what I usually connect to. But sometimes when I connect to them, I feel as though they're putting me in and they're kind of on my right side and a bit up. And sometimes I feel like they're putting me on hold, and then I know they're shipping me up further to an even higher vibration. If someone from another, some people say dimensions, some say levels, some say frequency, or people have so many different terms for this and different understandings. And I have decided that I don't really care what you call it. I'm explaining how it feels, because I go more with emotion, and I really feel that I'm being sent higher up. And whether it's one thing or another, it doesn't really matter. I just know the energy is, it's so much, I don't want to say crazy, but it feels crazy amazing, you know? So I'm going to connect now to them and see what this week is about. And okay, so this is also a reminder for me, because I wanted to do the optimistic update from my guides, because there are so many energy updates where they're talking about it's going to be a bumpy ride, or we're looking at this and that, and the stars, and Mercury in retrograde, and beware. And I am not, I mean, I listen to those and I love the information, and it's nice to be prepared, as I just said earlier. But I want to know, how can I take advantage of the situation? How can I get a positive result from what's coming up, and not talk about what to fear or be careful about, but where do I dive in and find the best flow, or serve, or whatever you want to call it? But how can this week be amazing for you? So let's see what they have to say. I'm just gonna ground myself, and you can do that too. And oh, they're showing as though they're already starting to send out like tiny waves of energy. So just imagine that it's coming through your screen, no matter when you're watching or listening, and you can just kind of float on it and love it. And maybe it's like, you know, gently being swayed, or calm down. Yeah. Okay. So I want to keep my eyes closed. And this usually means that I am connected to something higher than Odeon, because Odeon just, I know that frequency, and it's easy. So I'm going to take a step back and just allow whomever is here in the highest and best for all to tell us a bit how we can roll on this energy and have an amazing week. Greetings. Yes. So this is my first time through. Yes. Michelle sensed that my energy was different than what she's used to. And this is because this is my first time. So greetings. So nice to be here. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, we are getting used to blending with Michelle right now. Her energy is very not childlike, but we love this curiosity. We love this, what should we call it? A wave of light and curiosity, and so much eager to learn. We love it. We like it. It tastes nice. Yes. So all of you out there, we come here today to share with you that it doesn't really matter what is coming up this week, because you create your energy. Yes, you decide. So in the morning you wake up, and before you start to think, "Ooh, it's a new day," or "Ooh, I have to go to work," or something like that, or "Ooh, my bladder is telling me I have to get up," we would love it if you thought, "Ooh, what am I creating today? ooh, I have the power to do amazing things for myself. So, what kind of frequency am I going into? Who am I today? What am I sharing and receiving? And how do you want to be connected? Are you going to connect to your core, to your higher self, or to your guides today? Do you wish to be more guided in whatever may be ahead? So it might actually be you sense, ooh, the energies. Some of you are very, very sensitive to the energies from the universe, from the sun, from the moon. And also some of you can even hear like tones or tiny, it's almost like not beeps, but some of you may hear the energy talking to you from the universe. And you can also sense if it's going to be hard for you as empath, or we would like to say super sensitive energy receivers, because it's such a fine, 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 fine quality you have. And if you learn how to, let's say, protect yourself first until you get the sense of how to shall we say, master it. It's really, it's going to work for your benefit. But when it's too much, as it is for some of you, you can sense into it and say, okay, this is a bit tough today. And then imagine from your core, you're building up this beautiful, beautiful energy, and it just flows out through your heart, through all the chakras from above or below, and everywhere. You just get this kind of shield, and you feel as though you're protected from your own core, your energy, and just see yourself as this loving butterfly. Oh, Michelle is kind of feeling that this is getting too silly, but don't worry. This is for the people who can relate to this fluttery, the energy that is always kind of like tingling and affecting you, and you can use it for the good. So when it comes down, you just imagine how you spread your beautiful wings and you absorb it as a power boost. So you feel yourself getting bigger and stronger and more beautiful. And you see the gift you have from being you. And every time it feels as though, oh no, 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 this is too heavy, you feed on it, you turn it in to your let's say it's to fuel, to as though you can uh, um, ingest, digest, as though you can feed on it and love it. And no matter what kind of energy it is, you transform it as a you can transform darkness into light, because you're a light worker, you're a light being. And as long as that is what you wish for, then that will happen. How does that sound? And yes, yes, we hear you thinking, oh no, 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 because I only work with the highest loving light and it has to be beautiful and only for the good. Yes, but imagine if you already decided, today I have my wings on, I have my protection, then nothing bad can enter, but you can take the energy. Just like fuel is, it can be pollution. You put in gasoline in the car and you can die if you drink gasoline, but it can give power to things. So here we're just taking that energy that can be overwhelming and we're draping it around us. So we have like a spare battery. How does that sound? Oh, Michelle is so curious to see how people are reacting. So we'll let her come back. But that was kind of the energy, let's say, forecast for the week ahead. And surprise, surprise, it's going to be the same all weeks, in this sense that you decide if you want to be overwhelmed, because some of you have a need to be overwhelmed because you have a fear of acting on all this beautiful energy, and then you need to be overwhelmed, and it's okay. And it may actually be that you deserve a break and you're not taking it, and then boom, we're overloading you with energy, so that when you have had the break, the energy has actually not drained you or put you down, but it has helped you build like a storage room for energy that you can tap into when you're ready to take the next steps. Oh yes, and many of you do. If you kind of sense behind you, it's, some of you may have like these tiny extra spare batteries that you haven't noticed that have been placed for when you need it. So you can always tap into that if it's not coming from out there, because some days it will feel as though the communication is not there, and some days we let's say Michelle is asking, why is that? So we want to say it in a positive way, because for Michelle right now, what we're showing and what makes her anxious is that it feels empty and dark. And for some of you, because that is how it may feel for some of you some days. So Michelle is asking us to calm you and tell you what it's all about, so that you don't feel as though something bad is out there, because it's not something bad. It's let's see. Okay, so we're changing messenger, so someone who has expertise in this can tell you what is going on. And yes, Michelle, you may look while we're doing that. Okay, no one has been writing anything. This is weird. But that darkness felt weird. Curious about that. Oh, by the way, if you hear like this tiny duk 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 duk, it's I have a bird feeder on my window, and I don't know what happened after this weekend. They're just coming. There's been so many birds there. It's amazing, and they're not scared of me. They're right there on the window. Yeah. Okay, someone is ready to come through. I'm gonna let them come through. Yes, the vast emptiness, the darkness out there. Yes, some may call it the blank space, the emptiness, but that is not what it's about. So sometimes there might be this sensation of, let's just call it no connection, or a lack of connection, not to your guides, but those of you who do feel the entire universe. And there are some of you who have this like sensation of being in connection with all living things, not just here on Earth. You may some days have that very somber feeling, as though if you were to visualize it, it would be emptiness. And it is kind of as though you're in a gap, as though there are these tiny gaps on the evolutionary journey of existence, of planets, of the universe. And it's kind of as a reboot, because things happen where, just like you, if you believe this, you will understand it. But let's say we all souls, when they have an experience on Earth, they have kind of a destiny. Not really, but they have experiences, they have learnings, and you, as this, let's say, avatar, as this human being living this specific, well, let's call it a manuscript, but you are the writer. So if something is in there, let's say you're supposed to become a teacher and you decide instead to become a singer. So then we have to change the script and find out, okay, the learnings as a teacher, do we have to guide you to that route again? Or, and when I say we, it is your higher self, and then the mentors you may have for your soul that can help, along with some spirit guides that may change. Yes, we have some specific, so the best word for many of you to understand this, and especially Michelle, is destiny guides. But please understand, it's all free will. But we nudge, we support. And if something happens, so that just for a human being, if they change direction and the singer doesn't have to become a teacher, because they're still spreading inspiration, they're spreading knowledge and words, communication. So we can kind of remove the teacher part and change the direction to, okay, so where can we lead to this, and how can the next, let's call it package, because challenge or learning can be a bit daunting, but it is a package. It's kind of a gift you unwrap to learn, to grow, to share, and to be. And it changes. And every time someone makes a new decision, sometimes we have to find the next package and find out, okay, so where do we go from this? And it's also the same for the universe, because so many people, let's just take planet Earth, so many people here with free will, sometimes some big major decisions get made, and we have to Reboot is a wrong word because some of you will think that we're kind of starting over, but that's not it. We're changing the settings. So like in the theater, we have to change the scenery, and that we need to find out, okay, what kind of vibrations do we need for this new scenery? So it's kind of like a curtain fall, but for the break. It's just a short break, and then we will continue. So yes, Michelle feels satisfied with this and curious as well. So we trust that if you have further questions, we have downloaded some information to Michelle and you can ask her. So thank you for listening. This was interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So that was interesting. Have any of you watching or listening or heard that before? How they change everything. Okay, so Marit says, a few years ago, I heard only 20% of my energies are mine. How much of yours are yours? Is that not interesting? Okay, so I wanna, can you elaborate on that? Because I spend a lot of time, especially as a healer, every time I've done a healing, I say out loud, or now it's more in my head, but everything that is not mine, I send back in love, and everything that I have put out, I take back, so that I'm me, fully me, and nothing else but me. And I also make sure that I'm still connected. Like I'm also Mother Earth and I'm connected to the universe, but people. And it's so I have the love and light and the energy there. But so what I'm getting with the 20%, I don't know where that would come from, because I feel as though it's more that you're not leveling up the energy that is yours. So have you heard it, Marit, as though 80% of your energy belongs to someone else? Because I actually have what they're kind of making me feel, though, as though, just like when I've heard so many times that the human being only utilizes 10% of their brain. And I thought, okay, so we can kind of learn how to use more of it or evolve. And that's how I feel with the energy. So they're saying now that the brain thing isn't right, and I don't know, and I don't care. But that's what I feel with the energy that they showed me today, how I actually got a gift today. It's like they downloaded a love. So that's why we're going to have the love shower. So they downloaded how how I can love myself fully in a way where I never doubt myself. And they warned me that it's going to be an intense emotion I've never experienced before, because I'm going to love so much that it's just going to... I can't even explain it. It's a letter I wrote with them, and they showed me how it's a download, and I need to be alone when I unpack it. But it was really, it was a bit like one of them, the first energy that came through said something about when the energy is coming from outside, how you kind of digest and just feed on it. And that was also kind of what they were talking about with this love, how I become it. And I had the sensation of how my energy can be even higher and higher and higher. So we become like light beings, but still in human shape. So let's see, you say, yeah, I feel fatigue when I'm among people, and I have not understood that I'm aware of that and try to be 100% mine. Yeah. So, okay. So I get what you're talking about. So that's the empath part that I've seen it. I didn't know that people do that, because I've had a lot of people overstep my boundaries. So I've set very strict boundaries. I'm not good at not overstepping other people's boundaries, or let's say I used to not be good. I noticed that people kind of, I could be intimidating. I still can if I forget, especially when I'm exciting. People can get tired just because my energy gets so vibrant that they get this boost. You can probably sense it when I'm talking about something that is super exciting. And that can feel draining too. Even though I'm sending out energy, people can feel blown back. So they feel like they don't have their own energy. So, yes, they may actually get energy, but it's not my energy because I still have my energy, but I have so much. So it's mine is still staying. And the way I changed it, they showed me how I can become this channel of healing, loving energy. So instead of me having this sharp energy going out and scaring people or poking their insecurities or whatever it is I poke, because that's kind of my mission here, to shake up people and make them aware of shadows and things they could work on. And now I've changed it to simply send out the love and compassion. But when I get tired and I don't notice it, I step back into old patterns. But in general, every time in the morning when I wake up, I really do the whole, I connect to my higher self and I go into love and light. And I used to work with the song from India Ari, I am light, where she's singing, I am light, I am light. And there's so many amazing things in that song that taught me how to just love my light no matter what. And you may need something like that too, because it's so hard to make it a habit if you're not used to believing that you can be love and light. So Marit, when you feel tired among people, you actually, it's just, so the wings that they were talking about, you can put on those wings, and it's you kind of, I like, I'm just gonna start not from the beginning, but when I started doing all of this, protecting myself with love and light, I heard this, and then you pull down energy around you. And I had this, if I do that, the bad energy is going to be trapped inside. So I started boosting my light from inside, and I just let it kind of, I just let my energy field get wide and big and strong, and it's all love and it's all light. So if anything is in my energy system, I'm going to push it away, and then I'm protected. And when I do that around people that are draining or negative or critical, or who just feel unsafe, they don't get to me. They don't get to affect my energy because I'm in my space and they are not allowed in there. So it can be super simple if you practice doing that. Simply find out, okay, if I want to find out where is my spark, my soul, that tiny beam of light. And for some of you, you don't even know how to find the tiny beam of light because you already have that big ball of energy that's always on, and it's so amazing. So yay, you. But for some of us, we have to search for it in the darkness. And then with practice, we can, boom, get it bigger and bigger. And then once we have it in, like, really see yourself, like every breath in, you're fueling that beautiful soul energy and light, and you're just pulling it down into your legs and out in your arms and in your head and out in the hair and armpits, whatever. Just imagine you'll start to glow, and then you send it out, 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 out. And then every out breath is releasing all the blockages and the bad energies that you may have picked up, if you have. And then you suddenly feel like, whew, there's only light left. So then your out breath also fills the entire space around you with that light. And then when you get good at it, you can just turn on this. It's like, boom, I'm light now, and people cannot affect me. And if it's hard for you, you might not be so visual. You can simply imagine putting up a mirror in front of you. Just like if you cannot see it, just think for yourself, okay, there's a mirror, a wall of mirrors. So anyone who's thinking bad thoughts or is being critical or negative, they're gonna get it right back in their face. I used to do that, but I find it a bit hostile because I actually don't want people to get it back in their face. I want them to feel love, because if they have so much negativity or criticism inside of them. They need love and positive energy, and I don't mind giving it to them because I don't give it from my energy, I give it from source energy. So I'm trying to lift the energy like that. And uh, it's an amazing experience when you see how people can react when you just send them love and you don't have to say anything. You just have your heart chakra open and you send that loving light, and you can kind of just sense that the energy is changing, and people can get like totally perplexed. It's like, wait a minute, what's happening here? Why are you not getting either scared or sad or angry? So you can work on that. And especially as an empath, what I used to pick up on was when people were sad, because I have been sad so many times. So, oh, I recognize that. But I was good at sensing, wait a minute, I wasn't sad before. What's going on? Oh, that person at this exam table is nervous. Or, oh, that person over there, I'm just going to send them love and then I'm out of it. I don't need to sense what people are feeling unless it's a client, but then I don't need to pull it in. Now I kind of have, I think of it as tentacles. So if I have a client and I let them, not I let them, that was in mediumship. So if it's just a psychic reading, I put some of my attention into the energy of the person, but some people put themselves into them. It's as though they kind of jump over there and they sense all the bad things, and they're still connected to their body, but they have a hard time distinguishing between mine and yours. So just, you can teach yourself to always stay in your bubble and be protected, and you can just, oh, let me just have a sense of what is it you have to show me, to how does it taste, how does it feel, how does it smell, and then, okay, thank you. It's, you don't have to keep it, you don't have to, it's not as though you're taking it, you're just reading it. Yeah, you're reading the energy, you're reading the emotions, and sometimes you can do it to protect yourself. This person I'm talking to, my spider senses are tingling, as though I should probably stop the conversation and go somewhere else. Then it's okay for you to kind of ask your guides, your intuition, your higher self, whatever feels comfortable for you, am I in danger? And sometimes you'll almost hear them run, and then ask for guidance. How do I get out of this situation? And they usually send me pictures, or I just feel an urge to, I don't know, maybe I feel like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom, so thank you and bye. So something is just going to come to you, and you'll feel it, but you're not taking, so you don't have to be afraid of inviting that darkness in. You're just sensing it. Let me just know or read the energy so that I know if this person is who I think it is, or the kind of energy that I wish to spend time with. Yeah. So, yeah. And Tina being Tina said earlier, that was so wild. Yeah, it was when I was channeling. And Freya, yeah, it's very nice free will. Yeah. But Marit, I hope that the whole being 100% my own, I may make it simplified when I say everything that isn't mine, I send it back or out. You can also watch it drain into the earth and say, feed the flowers or whatever, but I send it out. It's not mine. And I say heavy or negative or not mine. So I also release if I've built up some energy of my own that's negative, because I am still a person and sometimes I can get annoyed. Like I got annoyed at myself yesterday for having thought, oh no, what if my car battery drains during the weekend? And it did. And it was like, why did I think that? Why didn't I? It's like, hey, wait a minute. Why am I doing this? Okay. Not mine. I'm releasing it. I don't want it. And then, okay, amazing. Who can help me? Someone can help me. Amazing. Oh shit, we have a problem. You know what? 2, 3 more people came to help. So the help is there, and we just have to shift the energy, and then we're attracting all the amazing things. So I hope you can use that. And I love recaps. So the easy thing, if you have too much empathy, if you have too much sensitivity towards energy, you can start from your own core, build up the energy from you inside, and push away anything that's not yours or anything you don't want to have in your energy system. And just think, what's not mine or what's heavy or negative, I release it, or I send it back, or I send it out in the universe in love and light. And then you can build your amazing, like I always, when I do psychic readings, I imagine like wings of energy coming up, like angel wings, and then I wrap the client or well, maybe sometimes just myself in this amazing energy. But they recently showed me like you can have butterfly wings or whatever, but imagine that those wings are, oh, it's solar panels. So it's kind of like solar panels. So if you spread them out and step into your full power, all the energy around you can be fuel. So you're not taking it into your core, but you're using it as energy to kind of fuel yourself to build more of that positive energy. So you don't have to fear negative energy, because you can transform it into a good energy that you can use for yourself. Or some of you can have too much energy, so you get like giddy, and then you just imagine how you're like the and like an antenna, and you just direct it into the ground so that it can spread out to whomever may need some grounding from it. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So then Marit says, something as neurodivergent is the tolerating of other people, their sounds, their actions, constant. Yeah. So that bubble of energy, you can actually also talk to it if you feel comfortable with it, or you can imagine that it's getting denser and denser, so that any disturbances gets kind of muffled out. So if, for instance, you're in a place where there's a humming sound, or you can hear people working on buildings, or just a lot of people talking, you can just imagine that you're kind of making your energy more and more dense, so that you can only hear what you focus on. I always have a song playing in my head. Sometimes it's like a whole a mix of songs that just, oh, okay, where did that come from? And I listen to that. So whatever works for you, but play with it. Really, energy is like, it's kind of like clay, or whatever material you can play with and shape. So some see it as light, some see it as just waves in the air, or you can simply imagine that it's clay. So I'm building a house, or I'm building a ball that I can put somewhere, so it's gonna fill up energy. Some may be successful and some may not, but we're so afraid of stepping into our power and realizing that we all have access to the energy, and you cannot empty out the source of everything. So there's more than plenty, but we're so afraid to be greedy and to think that we deserve, that we kind of say, can I please have a bit more, instead of just saying, please fill me up, give me everything I can hold, give me more, and just let it take space, so that anyone around me who's not able to ask themselves, I'm willing to bring it in for them, and just let them shower in it if that's what they are open to from their higher self, because they might not be consciously aware that they need it, or that they can have access to it. So I just like to be the well, now that they show, that was for me, actually. I saw myself as kind of like someone who's out there spreading flower seeds, like turning everything into a beautiful field of flowers for people to take. Bring home flowers, bring home beautiful energies to remind you of how amazing life is and how much beauty there is out there. And the good thing here is they don't have to know that I'm doing it. But maybe when they feel, oh, I feel good right here, they're stepping into a field of flowers I planted. And that's nice to know that you can make a difference. So that could be a good exercise for those of you who are afraid to ask for too much, that when we start by asking to be full of everything amazing for us, but more than we can hold so we can share it. So then we're still, I'm doing it for other people. So we might not feel so bad for asking for too much because we know it's going to benefit others. So you can never have too much energy as long as you say what is good for me and healthy and what can, you actually don't need more than that, because your intention is to grow. And just remember to ground yourself. If it feels like you're up there and it's too much, just put it down in the earth. So yeah, you can get too much, but only if you don't ground yourself or send to the over, I don't know what to call it, but if there's too much and you feel like you're not grounded, just see yourself being like having an iron rod or something into the ground so that you can direct it down there. So you're not draining yourself. You're just letting all the excess naturally go where it's needed. Yeah. Good. So we are 51 minutes in. And I think it's already time for the love shower, unless someone has a lot to say. And you actually already got some love shower here. Those of you who were able to visualize what I was talking about and what they were talking about, you already kind of activated all of that yourself. So that was cool. Oh, I look tired. I would actually like to not be able to see myself, but maybe it's a good idea to know if something's wrong here. So yeah, but I'm just gonna get ready for either channeling the love shower or answering any questions you may have before I start. And I apologize that I'm tired again, because I was also tired last week, but that was that blue moon thingy that made me not sleep. And this time it's just because so much happened this weekend. So many beautiful encounters. And so I've been manifesting a lot of things. And I also thought, couldn't it be amazing if I meet someone who could help me editing my videos and build this channel. And when I think about it, because there were so many people and conversations, there was actually one person who said, oh yeah, I'm actually good at that. And she was either unemployed at the moment or something. I didn't get her contact details. So if you come by this, please get in touch. And if someone else out there want to help, and we can do an exchange, and you can, if I can do anything that you need, because let's share the energy and the love, and I'm open to exchange help. So if you want to volunteer to help me with my videos, then my guides will volunteer to help you wherever you want to go. No, they say, Michelle, no, wherever they need to go. Okay. And Freya says, yeah, thank you. So that was just, you look beautiful. Love your energy. Thank you. I just see how red my nose is and that I need to color my eyebrows because I look not as I normally do. So Marit says, tell us about your manifesting more. You have manifested us. Yeah. So manifesting It's so interesting because for me, it's so I'm just gonna see if I can do a quick summary of the my manifesting thing, because I want to get to the healing. But it started with The Secret, but The Secret, some of you may have heard of it. What's her name? Rhonda Burns or something. It was also a movie, and a lot of famous people, or more or less famous, were in there. And it was about how you can more or less create anything you want. You can manifest it, and the universe, anything you desire, the universe will give you, as long as you believe it. And then you have to let it go and trust it. But they didn't put in the vibration thing. So if you're not feeling it, so that was kind of the thing that was missing, because I was really, yeah, I can see it and I can feel it, and I'm planning, and I'm at that house, and I spent so much time building sand castles, but they were just made of sand and not energy. So if you instead, because sometimes the wishes can be desperate, like, I need this, I need it. And I learned how to, if I can imagine how this can work out best for all, and I can see it happening, and I know how I feel during and afterwards, then that gratitude and the love and the that high vibration, if I can be in that, when, as though I've already manifested it, as though it's just the way it is, that's just how it is, I don't doubt it, that is what's going to happen, or something better. And that or something better is also really important to put in there, because if we, let's say I want 100 people to watch my YouTube video, that's kind of stupid. Why not say, I want to attract as many people as possible who need to see this, and I don't set a number, then maybe I'll get 1 million or 10 million, I don't know, could be it's only 10. But if the right people are here, then it's the way it's supposed to be. And I just love that the universe will help me and take care of it, and I don't have to do so much more. I just imagine it, I send it out, and I'm so grateful for it, and then it's as it should be. And I love, Marit, how you say you have manifested us, because I feel that too. Is today I was thinking, oh, I have to remember today to go into some Facebook groups and say, hey, I have my life, and I have to make a newsletter, which I've said a few times. But I just feel like, you know what, they're going to come. The people who need me and who I need right now, they're going to come, and I just trust it. So I don't care if I start up and no one's there, because I believe that you're going to be there. So I kind of knew that those of you who have been here the last few times, it's yay. And the cool thing is, it's not even my besties. I mean, it's people who have come because they feel drawn to this. In the beginning, I asked my friends, please be there, I don't want to be alone. But now it's people are finding me, and that's so amazing. So yeah. So do you have specific questions, Marit, about this? And and now I'm sensing into your energy, because I can sense you're okay with it. Just, yeah, so you could just, you already do some manifesting, but not you haven't unfolded it truly, because you still have the same limitations as I do. It's like, oh, I wish that it could be the number, like 100 people, whereas my guides would say, why 100? Why don't you want 1 million? It's like, oh no, I don't want to be greedy, or I don't want to disappoint myself, or I don't want to think that so many people would be interested in what I have to say. It's the whole letting go of those beliefs and restraints that we put on ourselves. So when we really want to manifest something, it's to not put a boundary on it, because then you're gonna make it harder for the universe or your guides or your helpers or whatever is there for you to deliver the best possible outcome because you want it to be a specific way. I heard an amazing example of this, or I read it in a book maybe, but it was someone who she wanted a specific feather. It's like I sometimes, give me a white feather to show I'm on the right path or something. And this example was someone, she wanted a feather from a specific bird, and it took forever before she got that feather. And she asked her guides, why did it take so long? And I was like, well, because you wanted this specific bird. Do you know how hard it was to get that bird to come by and drop that feather just in that moment? It's like, oh, that was interesting. So when we set those requirements on how we want the gift to be wrapped and to be, and what if they could have given you a castle instead of some clay to build a model of a castle? It's when we block what can be by not believing that we can have more than what we already have or what we're able to imagine. Because my biggest challenge was the how. I needed to know all the steps. So, if I want to become like super rich, then what if it means that someone I love has to die so that I inherit the money? Then I don't want it. No, then I don't want to be, I was always worried about the consequences, because there must be consequences. If I want something for me, like selfish, there must be consequences. And a lot of us light workers, we have that. We don't want to be selfish. We want it to be for the greater good. And you can build that in. So I'm like, okay. So if I start making a ton of money on this, then I can offer more of my time to people who don't have money. And then I can pay people to do all the stuff that I don't want to do, so that I can spend my time on doing the things I love doing. And that gives a lot of value to other people. And I'm also helping the people who will be working with me and for me. And if I can just say, I don't know how it's going to look or feel, but I'm open and I'm attracting, and I trust it's going to come, because I allow it to come in whatever shape, format, and speed that is necessary for me to truly step into it. And since I learned that, my life has been so much easier, because I am not constantly saying, I knew it wasn't going to happen. Yeah, I cannot trust my guides. I cannot trust the universe because I asked for this and I didn't get it. So maybe be a bit more open to the result looking differently, and then trust yourself to be worthy of it, and allow yourself to get into being the person who already has it. Like, I am a rich person. I have so much to give, and I receive so much. And yes, I may not live in a castle, but I actually don't want to live in a castle. Why would I be in a castle? I mean, if I had a castle, it would be to invite everyone in to feel like a king and a queen and have an adventure, but I don't need it. So why would I wish for that? I just want to have the right circumstances, the right people and connections and experiences that is necessary for me to, well, I don't know. I don't set that requirement. And sometimes we do need to know the direction. And I know the direction. I'm here for you, and also for me and for my soul. And I'm just show me the next steps. I don't care what is 10 steps ahead. I'm just going to start walking, and then the right steps are going to show themselves. And I will sense if I took a detour and say, wait a minute, I'm on a detour. Is it okay? Am I going to find an amazing view on this detour? Or should I turn around and then continue where I was going at first before something caught my attention? Because sometimes we can get derailed because we might be scared of stepping into our full potential or receive the gift that we have manifested. Sometimes it's actually just before we get it, it can feel a bit scary. So Yeah. And Marit says, you read me correctly. I'm awaiting a lottery. Not too much, but a tiny amount. Yeah. I've been in the lottery thing too. So every time there's like the Euro jackpot, and I'm like, ooh, 369. Those numbers must be magical. 369 million krona. I want them. And then I start thinking about, okay, how much am I going to give to charity? How much am I going to give to my family? What am I going to buy? How am I going to use this money? So I kind of pretend that it's mine already and what I'm going to do with it, but I still don't believe it. I find it so hard. And so when you say just a tiny amount, I get it. That's easier to believe. But what worked better for me is that I always have more than enough. I always have enough to share, and it's always coming. I'm just open to always receiving, and it's easy for me to always feel like I have more than enough. Then I don't have to disappoint myself with, oh, I didn't win this week either. Next week. Every time I buy a lottery ticket, and I still do buy them, because if that's the way the universe wants to help me, it would be easy. And yeah, I'm wasting a lot of money, if you want to say so, but that money is going to someone else's dreams. Then I'm okay with it, because I have more than enough. So yeah, if you want to win the lottery, you got to buy the ticket, but it might come in a different way. And I don't need to know how that way is. I just told the universe, when you're ready to deliver it, or when I'm ready to receive it, just bring it. I'm there. Yeah. So I hope that was an inspiration to someone. Yeah. Good. So love shower. We're gonna go into a love shower healing now. And if you wanna just settle in and make sure your phone is on silent mode or whatever, then you can do that. Maybe have something to drink since it's a love shower, make sure you're comfortable. Maybe find a blanket or a lovely pillow that feels good. Maybe you want to hug a pillow, because you're going to receive so much love now that it can feel almost scary, because many of us are not able to receive. So whatever you need, you have like 20, 30 seconds. And if for some reason you miss some of it, you can always go back, because time is not an issue. Time doesn't really exist as such. So even though right now I have to say the date. It's June 8th. I cannot say 8th today, but 8th of June, 2026. But it doesn't matter when you're listening to this. It's the energy is always there if you set the intention. So it's kind of been built in to whatever this is. I don't know how the energy works when we're doing this, but it's not even in the transmission. It's out in the energy, and when people they're kind of just sending a signal through this program, this transmission, and the energy is being pulled down. See, that was interesting. They showed me that, how it's actually kind of out there in space, and you can just ask for it to be downloaded. Cool. And I'm actually gonna take a blanket myself so that I don't get cold, because I can sense that I'm spending a lot of energy. Yeah. So let's see who's gonna come through, and I don't know. And Aqua Divine has a question. How can I develop my mediumship more? I meditate every day sitting in the power. So Aqua Divine, you just made it before I start. And did you by chance participate in Wild Women Nordic Camp? Because I told a lot of them to please join live and ask your questions. And this could be one of those amazing souls. So if that is you, welcome. And if it's not you, welcome anyways. I'm just going to answer that question. how you can develop your mediumship more before I go into the healing. But those of you who are already prepared for the healing, they show me how there's like a flow of light kind of building from above. So you can start by just opening up from above, and then imagine yourself grounding. And the conversation we had earlier about how you start from inside to build yourself up, because that's kind of how we show ourselves love, that we don't need to have it come from another source. If we learn that the power comes from inside of us, it's going to be so much easier to be open to receiving and to step into our true power. And that's something I learned, because I always ask my spirit guides and never my higher self, because I was afraid to believe that my higher self, aka me in some sense, would have the answers. And that's one of the things that I needed to understand in order to be fully me. And I'm not 100% there, but I'm working on it. So you can start working on it too. And then I'm just going to go in and help Aqua Divine. So, so how can you develop your mediumship more? Okay, so I see that you meditate every day sitting in the power, but you don't practice enough. Like, you can just practice, and the sitting in the power is amazing, and that's where you kind of build the sensation of the energy and know when you're connected. But you can invite in more people. You can ask for, just for yourself, when you're sitting in the meditation, you can kind of, I don't know if you have, like I used to have this, it's always in a forest, and I come out into an open space, and there might be a tent and someone is waiting for me in a tent, or there's a bench and I have a conversation with one of my own loved ones, or there's maybe a spirit guide in the tent. Actually, the first time it was Dalai Lama, and I was like, okay, I don't want to do this. This is just my imagination. But he kept coming back until I believed that I actually had access to Dalai Lama. And you can do that, and then you can start inviting in your deceased loved ones first and have conversations with them. And it's so amazing when they remind you of things that you forgot. And just trust whatever comes, because if I feel as though you have done a lot of you've already practiced a lot, but you haven't, let's say, I don't feel like you're allowing people to book you or to truly see what you're able to do. Why is that? It's like there's a blockage on it. That confidence thing could come from yeah, so it's practice. So the confidence could come from when you're sitting in that power anyways. Just have the conversations with your guides, because you can use them more than you do already. And also maybe find a practice group, like a mediumship circle. Maybe once a week is going to be too much. Maybe once a fortnight or once a month, where you physically meet, but then also have some online practice sessions. Because the more souls you experience, the more souls you experience, the more natural it's going to come. Just play with it, have fun with it. That's really the most crucial thing. It's so weird. I feel like I'm being, is there like a trick question in this? Because I feel some confusion when I'm connecting to you. So what is it that I'm not seeing? Can you elaborate on this? Like, what is your issue? It feels as though you have so much connection, but maybe you're not aware of it, because you do connect to many entities. Does this ring a bell to you? Yeah, you don't have an audience. Yeah. So that's the one that you need to practice. And with other mediums, practicing mediums, beginner mediums, but be careful not to, because I sense that just like me, you want to learn how other people are doing, and you have so much potential that isn't being fully developed because you think it has to look like someone else. Like I used to love a Long Island medium because I feel like I can relate to her, like not the crazy nails and the high heels, but the directness and the just being who you are. And I used to really be aware of how she was communicating. And you say, I love Cindy Casa. Yeah, I don't know Cindy, but you're not anyone else but you. And the way you communicate could be different because it's very important that you allow yourself to be you. So you're not playing a role and letting the spirit come through, because if you have to put them through some kind of filter that you put up on, I have to be like this. And, I tried to change myself when I became a spiritual person, like, oh, I have to be calm and in zen and always talk with this calm and centered voice. I lost myself for a while there. I couldn't recognize myself, and I didn't have any energy to be me because I was trying to be someone else. And when I just embraced, I don't care if I swear. Well, I do now, but in the beginning, they didn't mind because they needed me to be authentic. But now they want me, because now I'm representing higher entities, and they want me to not be so much without filter. But I'm still true to me. And when you try to be how others are doing or being or how they're communicating, you're really, the requirements are restraining the energy from flowing freely, because it kind of shows your higher self that you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your core. And I feel that it's especially in your solar plexus, like there's some it's just as though you've put a lock on it because you're afraid of, as long as you're playing a role, you cannot, people cannot, how can we say, be judgmental, because it's not really you. I don't know if that makes sense to you. But when we put on a mask to protect our own emotions, we're also putting, we're lowering the energy, and we're building barriers that makes it so much harder for spirit guides and the spirit realm to have access to you. And it kind of, it muffles the messages, and it also lowers your the trust in yourself. And you're saying you're so right. Yeah. But the love shower that we're doing now, so this meditation now, so for you and anyone else who are aware of it's just pretend, because I used to also, oh, it's just for fun, I'm not going to use it for anything, spirit told me to do this, so I'm just gonna do it, but I'm not going to use it for anything, and I don't even know if I believe it. It wasn't until I said, okay, I'm open, let's see where this is going, and I wanna be the best that I can, and I don't know how that's going to be, I don't know how it's going to look or feel, but please show me. So I actually told the universe and my guides and all the diseased loved ones coming through, teach me, teach me, teach me. And that's so amazing when you're in a scenario with others who are also evolving and developing and practicing. There's no pressure, because I always ask for something that is difficult. I don't want the easy things when I'm in a practice situation. I want something I can learn from and grow from, and I'm okay if I don't get it, because I have to practice. So just be okay with making mistakes, because how amazing is it, even to be able to connect, so have fun with it. So anyone who knows that they have put these restraint and has this insecurity and feel like, but that person, when they're doing mediumship, they can say how they look, they can say their age, they can say how they died, when they died, the age, or and some can even say the date, and they can tell so many things, and I cannot do that. Well, maybe you can eventually if you're meant to, but maybe you're better. So I know I'm better at talking about how people were. It's like, oh, this person is so amazing. I want to say like they made you feel like. So I'm trying to communicate the emotions and show them how it is to be around this person, to make them come to life in my gestures and the way I smile and the words I'm using. And if I just what's your name, I would be so focused on that. So but when I started relaxing, then suddenly I just hear the name and I just see a number and I okay, and the ages. But when I'm struggling to get it, I'm not getting all the beautiful, amazing things that just flow to me when I'm open to let it just use my energy the way that I do best. I am this way out there person, so it's so much easier for a lively spirit to come through and really take advantage of my not patterns but my behavior, because it's natural for me to just gesture and be there. So be okay with being always learning. It's a never-ending journey, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to be good and that you cannot be a professional. But even professionals can evolve because new soul types are coming. The earth is evolving. People are evolving. So in mediumship, I mean, I haven't been in contact with people from all over the world, but it's so crazy when suddenly I have someone who has been in a concentration camp, or people who have been at war, because that's not, I've been kind of, I've led a kind of safeguarded life from all of that, because my family, yeah, maybe a great grandparent was involved in some war, but we don't have any war stories, and we don't have all of those really, really tough scenarios. So I had to experience it. So the more you can get out there and just be grateful for every experience you get, even if you don't understand it, because I don't understand all cultures in the world, and I don't understand the people who have lived through some lives that are so far from what I have. But the more I experience them, the easier it's going to be the next time. So allow yourself to explore and to be curious and just to see what happens. Be open. Just like when manifesting, it's like this or something better. And then not be too strict on the structure, because a lot of people, teachers will say, so you have to have the who, the what, and the why, and it has to be in this. And I loved that when I was at Arthur Findlay College. It really helped me. So who's coming through, the relationship, is it male, is it female, the what did they do, what were their passions, their biggest what are they proud of, what signifies who they were and what people remember them for, and why are they here for this person, what is their message and why here. So that was such an amazing, like it's kind of a template that I started using. But once I got a grab on it, I didn't need it anymore, because sometimes the communication would be so much easier if I allowed spirit to tell me what they wanted to tell. Because sometimes it was enough to say, hey, I'm grandma and I need to tell this person so and so, because I didn't need to prove, because that person would know, oh yeah, I can see it. I saw my grandma's face on you, or you said the exact, I know it's her. We don't always have to prove it. So at first, just think of it, now I'm proving to myself that I can do this. I'm allowing spirit and I'm training, and you're just kind of evolving a language. You have to learn it. Like grammar is hard. I'm not saying grandma, but grandma. The grammatics of any language is hard. And it's kind of the same with spirit language. There are so many nuances that it changes all the time. So be okay with that. And so Marit asks, am I meant to be a medium? I lack all your skills. No, you don't lack all my skills. You have access to all my skills, but not everyone is meant to be a medium. And I'm just gonna, because Aqua Divin just said, thank you for your guidance, love and light. I'll explore more. Want to go to Arthur Findlay College to train more as well. Yeah, it's an amazing place. Just tap into it, because some of it is really important you go on the right course and that you feel safe and comfortable. So use your intuition and find the right teacher, because it's really important that you get someone who matches your energy. Some of them are very strict, some of them are too loose, some of them are just the right match. And it you cannot necessarily say, but if they have like a video or something, just tap into their energy first and see if you'd feel comfortable, and just ask to be shown, okay, if I take this course, is it the right choice for me? How's it going to feel? How's it going to look? But don't stay with the how's it going to look. Just, is it going to feel good? Is it right for me? So yeah, that was it. Good. So Mari, let's see. Are you meant to be? No one is meant to be a medium as such. Some have a specific skill for it. I'm not meant to be a medium. I was always curious as to why my guides kept nudging me to become a medium. And it's because if I hadn't had that level, that dimension to my existing skills, I wouldn't understand the full picture, which I do not at all. But it was just an important part of the knowledge. I'm not going to become the next big medium out there. I'm not going to become a new Long Island medium and have my own show, because I'm meant to be a teacher, a mentor, and more like a channel. So my guides are going to be the teacher through me, but I also have a lot of knowledge I can share so that it's relatable and not just coming from some higher entity. So I don't feel like you're meant to become a medium, because you would know it if you were. As to skills, you do have a lot of psychic skills. You're actually more in the healer. It's like there's this flow of that healing, loving energy, but it feels as though it has nowhere to go. So once you start directing the energy and know what you want to do with it, not what you're meant to be, you can just let it flow. But that's also why I came into all of this. Don't try to be someone else, because you think, I mean, so you look at me and it's, oh, but Michelle, she can do this and this and this and this. I can't do that. I shouldn't be doing that. I've worked very, very, very hard to get all of this. Like, okay, so at first I closed my eyes and I wanted to visualize. So I've always been really good at visualizing. Like, even with my eyes open, I can imagine, here, there's an orange right there, and I can taste it. And now my mouth is watering, because the smell, the taste, all of that. I'm so good at visualizing. But when it came from spirit or in a psychic reading, I would close my eyes and there would just be darkness. And I was like, give me something. And then, wait a minute, that looked in the darkness as though someone with a gray pen was drawing a horse. Was that a horse? And I kept looking. Come on, I want to see a full picture, or show me a movie screen of whatever it is I'm supposed to see. But no, that was just, okay, so I was just, no, I'm not getting anything. I'm going to try again. And then one horse from one side and one from the other, but it was still dark. So it was just this profile of a horse in the darkness, like running over. But and it was like when you're looking at the skies and you're thinking, I'm just imagining this. But then horses. Okay. And then I asked the person, I keep seeing horses, and they're just running, and I don't know why, because to me horses mean power and running. And she's like, oh well, we live in a community where the horses are running freely around, and it's like, okay. So, and then I started trusting it. So when I just got, like, it could be just very quickly a triangle. a triangle. So it looks like, like the sail on a sail ship, but I only get the triangle and a sail. And oh yeah, that's okay. So once I stopped wanting it to be something, I allowed it to evolve in a natural way, and I opened up my gift. So think of it as a present. Don't think it has to be a certain way, because you hear people who are like, oh yeah, I've always been able to see spirit, and I've always been able to communicate, I've always been able to do. I haven't. Nah. I just, at one point, I just started getting the good. I wanted more. I was listening to the podcasts, and I know I had an invisible friend when I was small, but I've forgotten who it was. I don't know if it was male, female, whatever. And I don't see ghosts. I've been scared of ghosts forever. So I've been shut down. And then I started listening to Hay House podcasts, and I just started to almost cry when I heard something, and I thought, oh my God, I want to do this for people. And that is when my intuition started to go online, and I opened up little by little by little by little. And I really didn't think that mediumship was going to be anything for me, but I always felt like I want to help people with, even before I was any good, I wanted to help people evolve their gifts. I knew I didn't want to tell people, am I going to find love? Or I really wanted to help them find their path and evolve and move on. And that's just always been there for me. And I could do a lot of that in the mediumship, and I'm still going to continue to do it. But I'm open to my abilities changing, and I don't expect it to be a certain way, because that would kind of make me not see when I get something different, maybe next level, maybe something amazing would be able to happen for me if I didn't look for it to be a certain way. So just be open. But Marit, I don't think you should think about, am I meant to be a medium? If at some point you feel, I still feel the healing thing, the energy thing is more you. But if you feel drawn to mediumship, it's because then you're ready for the next step, because they kind of tricked me into this. Not really, because I have accepted it, but I thought I was going to develop courses. I thought they gave me steps that I was ready to take, because I knew, okay, I can do that. If they had told me, you're going to be a mentor and you're going to help people who are way better than you, that have done this for years and years and years, and I was like, nope, no, that's not for me. I'm going to stick here where it's safe. But they kind of led me in the right direction. And now I feel comfortable because I trust them. I trust them to give whatever people need. And I'm so good at allowing anything to come and be open to seeing people in a way that I didn't even know was possible. So, yeah. And you say, Marit, now I can relax. I do not need to overwhelm myself. I am just I and okay. Exactly. I love that you said it like that. That's what I want to help people experience, that just relax. Like at Arthur Findlay College, I saw all these people really stressing themselves in any exercise we had to do. It's like, oh no, I don't think I can do this. And I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. I wonder if I can do it. I didn't feel like I needed to prove anything. I was always curious. I wonder if this is a skill I have. I wonder how I can learn this. I wonder what's going to happen. So I was just open, and I didn't pressure myself. So thank you so much that you actually showed me that what I wish to do for people, I just did for you. So take care with that. So, oh my God, I've been going on for an hour and 33 minutes now. I promise, no more questions here. If you have more questions, you can put them in. I'm not going to answer them today, but I'm going to write them down. And if you're watching this at a later time, I always read the comments, and I either answer there, or I will take the questions to the next live on next Monday. But it's time for the love shower. Oh, some of you have already been sitting in the energy for a long time. I can tell. Okay. So just allow yourself to be open and some of you still need to feel safe. So you can say, I am open to receiving what is beneficial for my development, for my health, for my sense of safety and trust in me and my situation. I'm open to love, to light, and to all the good. And if you have certain beliefs, you put them in your intention. I always start burping and it's just tea I'm drinking. I didn't have any club soda, any sparkling right now. So it's the energies, they're just working. So I have also set the intention to let the highest energies through that can benefit us all in the amount that we're ready to receive and for our highest and bests. And oh yeah, they've already started sending in love. Okay, so for some of you, it's gonna be, well, almost uncomfortable because I can kind of go into a feeling like a child sensation, like the love of a mom, a grandparent, all women, all ancestors, maybe of dads, of anyone who you ever loved and wanted to be loved by, that were part of your DNA or your family or your chosen family. Just imagine them all in love and light, making a circle around you. They're holding hands like people you didn't even know from your ancestral line. And for some of you, it will also feel natural to invite the versions of yourself. It could be previous lives that you've been in contact with, or it could be future versions of yourself, as well as maybe your inner child. There's no limit, but you can imagine as though they're just holding hands and it's circle after circle after circle, and it can just grow until it's just light beings and energy, and it's kind of making a big dome of light over your head and way up there. So you're being surrounded by love and good intentions, and they're showing me how they're sending this love from below. It's as though it's going into the ground and into your feet or through your root chakra, whatever feels more natural, and building up through you so that you can truly be strong in that power out through your head. And it's just going to flow like that donut energy that is going to go out through all of these amazing people and souls and energies and every entity that you're in any way connected to. And that's a lot of souls out there, all the light beings, your spirit guides, the angels. And yes, you can all have all of the angels around you at the same time, because time is not really a concept in the way we think of it, but just see them being maybe just light. And now that you've kind of set the stage, it's time to allow yourself to feel it. So just breathe into it, settle down, and know that you cannot do anything wrong. You're just being not over flooded, because it's flooding through you and around you and out, and it's cleansing you, it's filling you up. And then from above, this beautiful, beautiful source light is coming down into the center and showering you, releasing all the should haves, all the requirements to yourself, all the shame and the guilt. It's all being dissolved and being gently pulled down into the earth to be released as energy and nothing more, so that you can be this vessel of pure love for yourself, like an eternal shower of love that you can always just sense into, because you don't even have to activate it, because it's always there if you allow it, if you allow yourself to feel the love. And just breathe. And any questions you have, all the doubt and the fear, you can ask them now. And if you don't get any answers the way you're used to getting answers, then see or sense or be open to the answer being inside of you as a knowing, like telepathy, like it's already there. Because the communication is flowing, it's streaming down right now. Love is communication. And if you're still feeling any tension, if you're not able to truly open up, just breathe into it and let it go. And you might say sounds like cough or let it go. You might even feel like crying, and it's okay. Sometimes the whole allowing yourself to release the sadness, that need to feel love, can really be overwhelming. And when we get it, it's healing, but it's also a very tough emotion if you're not used to feeling loved or allowing yourself to be loved just for you, not because of something you did or the value you provide. So just know that right now, this love shower is not for your accomplishments or your service. It's just for you, for the beautiful soul that you are, even for all the struggles that you maybe didn't master or that you're still in. You're just receiving so much love and empathy and gratitude for living, for being, not for how you're doing it, but just for you. And you may have a hand on your heart, and another hand might be on your sacral chakra, just below your belly button or your solar plexus. Maybe you have a hand near your throat if you want to give yourself permission to communicate, to receive. And if you urge for something more, for maybe light language or the ability to heal with what you say or the energy you send out, you can also set that intention now. Because the more you love yourself and trust yourself, the power coming inside of you, from you, the more you're open to really being the being that is you. But the full you, the 100% you, and not everyone else's energy or everyone else's expectations or rules or boundaries for you and your life. And maybe you feel as though you have some energy trapped in your throat and you can let it out. Some of you are natural sound healers, even if you aren't aware. So maybe you feel like saying just a sound or a word. Nya mama. Hi u nene u. Yeah, that's my light language. So do you have your own light language? I haven't really practiced mine. But just be okay. There's nothing wrong or crazy. It's right now we're just opening up without expectation as to how it should be, look like, feel like, sound like. Hi nanaminu au. Kananinu hinanu mamiu. Wahinini maninu nena. And now you're being invited to ask for this love shower to guide you, to know that whenever you're following, your passion, your intuition, you can let your higher self or your guides or your guardian angel sense this love and light flowing to you, like support and gratitude for you doing what is right for you. And you can sit in this for as long as you need. I'm not shutting it down. The energy is going to flow for the time you need it. And you may even fall asleep, and that's okay. It's just going to slowly start fading when you don't need anything anymore because you're full. But there's always the connection and the sensation, but it doesn't need to be surrounded as you are now, because you can just have it from inside and know how many lights around you are following you, not because they have expectations to what you're doing, but because they want to show you support no matter how you do it. In gratitude for you taking the steps needed for you to feel good and to be you, truly you, and know that so many of your ancestors have taken steps for you, paved the way for you, for those generations that came after them. And no matter how you're living your life, know that you will never disappoint them. And whatever may lie in your family history or in the expectations that's been put into you around, in this family we do this, or I am expected to do this and that, because just know that you were meant to have free will. And it may be that it feels right for you to do what was the story for you, because sometimes the road has been paved to be exactly what you needed, but sometimes the road has been paved with struggles so that you learn how to be independent and step into your own power. But some of you do have like a current running underneath it all to support when you step into that path. It's just going to be feel natural. But either way, you always have access to the support and the energy. And there's no pressure to be something specific or do it in a specific way, but you can always get guidance on how to do it the easy way, the flowing way, the loving way. So now I will shut down my own work for this, but the energy is going to continue on your side for as long as you need it. But I will shut down this healing on my end because you are your own healer and you have your own team around you and you can be in it for as long as you need. But I got a question that I want to answer before I end today. So you can either tune out and not listen to what I'm saying, or you can still just sit in that love shower and you can ask them to shower you when you go to sleep or to work or whatever you're going to be doing today. But if you're very sensitive, maybe not while driving in a car. I should probably have said that before I started the healing, because it can be very powerful if you truly allow yourself to feel all the love from all of those lights around you and from above, flowing down into Earth and connecting you to Mother Earth, to Gaia, who is also there like a womb to carry you, uplift you, and nurture you. So just stay in that energy. And this is to Tina, being Tina, who said, I really want to evolve stronger connection to my guides. But when I meditate, nothing happens. I do sit in the source energy. What can I do? And what are my blocks? I miss communication with them. So I already built in some of that in the healing and some of the guidance. So I hope you already got an answer. But I'm just going to tap into your blocks, what your blocks are, because I feel like the communication has changed and your powers are more, you're actually more in tune with your powers. And that makes the communication sometimes feel more subtle. And where you used to get a lot of confirmation, you don't need it anymore because you need to have faith and confidence in yourself and distinguish between what you want the message to be and what it actually is. So the communication is there, but it's more a whisper now. So the blocks are wanting to be 100% sure before you can trust it. And some of the blocks have been put there by people not being able to take the messages you had. I'm being shown that maybe you had, I actually feel like it's a friend of yours where you were giving a reading and you said, so this is what I'm getting. And you got a, nope, that's not true. And you kept sensing, yes, it is true. So yes, it was true, whatever it was, but that rejection, it felt like a rejection of you and your abilities. So you doubted yourself. But sometimes people are not able to take in what we are giving them. And sometimes they need to hear things a lot of times before they're able to accept it as part of their truth. So if you feel confident in the messages that you have gotten, then you'll not block yourself. So if you simply allow your guides back and the communication to be more mm, it's just gonna, when you struggle to get it, if you're saying, come on, come on, come on, come on, give it, I talk to me, you're not gonna hear them. You're gonna talk louder than them, so you're not hearing them saying, we're right here. Relax, darling, we're right here. We've always been here. We just waited for you to be ready for this, to be ready to accept the beauty and the light inside of you and not depend so much on external validation. And I see there is a lack of grounding as well. I see there's so much going on in the upper body, the head and the upper body, down to the belly button, kind of. But the connection into the ground, just imagine that you're pulling the energy down into your legs, into the ground from your heels, so that your root chakra is kind of, the energy is spreading out into the legs and down, and then just connect to the earth. And then from there, you can be in it, because when you go into the source energy, it's just so high frequency and vibrant that I feel as though you love it so much, so you pull your attention up into that high frequency, so you pull it out from the grounding. I hope that makes sense for you. I'm really seeing as though you're not connected to your body, but you're up in that, and then you're not. It's just light and source energy, and you're not. It's not a complete line, so the communication cannot come through. Yeah, so just trust yourself, and that once you're grounded, and it takes a bit longer, because you always search upwards, because you don't believe that it can come so much from your own body, from the sensations you're getting. So you're kind of like what I was talking about, that you look for your spirit guides to have the answers, and not trusting that your higher self, which is part of you, can actually also be a higher entity. And if you're grounded, you're not going to go into some God complex. So ground yourself and allow yourself to be part of the source energy. And you can have them visit you in your dreams tonight. So have pen and paper ready. So when you wake up, even if you don't remember anything, just start, I dreamt that, and then whatever comes to you, and then it's just going to roll out. And if nothing is there, then I wish that I dreamt something, because I wanted to find out how my connection looks like. And then they're gonna send you impulses. It's really starting the communication instead of waiting for it. Because if you just sit and wait, you're not in flow. When you start communicating in writing or in talking, it can just be, you said, okay, guides, what do you need me to know? So I feel so and so, and if you could, then suddenly you just continue talking, and then you're just going to get the impulses. But I feel like writing is easier for you, because you still need it to be tangible. Yeah. And Marit, I imagine sitting in a love bubble with my daughter. Might she have experienced it and healed? I wonder. Thank you. So her higher self was definitely participating and thanking you. I think your daughter may have felt, because I'm seeing as though a blanket, I always feel like when I'm getting healed, it's like a density, a blanket around me. So she may have felt it, but her higher self definitely did, but she has free will. So she can only take in what she's ready for. But it's always okay to send love and good intentions as long as you don't force anything on people. Just whatever they can take, whatever they're open to receive, and for the highest good. And I feel as though you're healing yourself as well, but it starts with you. So the more you work on you, the more the bond, we inherit so many things from our parents. So when we as parents heal ourselves, we actually, so if it's removed from our DNA, it's going to be removed from our kids' DNA, because then it's all linked, it's all energy. So they carry around some part of us, and if we change, they change. If they're ready to, because sometimes they need that part to learn their lesson, because they were meant to be our kids. They were meant to be affected by our actions and our personality. And if they haven't learned the lesson, then they may not be able to release it, even though we do, because we don't need it anymore. So just be okay with whatever, and then the energy is going to flow. Because if you need it to be something specific, it's not going to be able to be what it wants to be. Yeah. And Mari says she has taken steps backwards from me. I feel big healing and love. Yeah. And Tina says, thank you. I started crying when you said that my guides are saying we are right here, darling, because my brain started questioning if maybe I'm just not supposed to have contact and no one is there. Oh, now I'm almost crying, because that is really, sometimes we doubt ourselves so much. And that was my biggest scar that I needed to heal. I felt as though if I trust my guides, if I really step into the power that I'm being shown that I have access to, and then I suddenly feel alone, then I'm going to be even more disappointed. Once you feel this amazing love, and if they are suddenly not there, then it's going to hurt so much more. The whole, so we're many of us are limited in what we're able to receive, even a compliment, because if I feel good, then I'm going to crash so much harder when I don't receive the love and the attention anymore. But they're always there. It reminds me, I do this channel writing, and the other day they came through and said, sometimes you may feel as though you're abandoned and you're alone, but know that we're always there. We are watching you. We are with you every step of the journey and grieving with you, but you need to take the steps alone so that you can grow from this. But you never were alone. And that was really interesting to know that if I knew they were there and guiding me and supporting me, I would never have felt the emotional setbacks that helped me find my own power. I wouldn't have found confidence in my ability to take the necessary steps out of the darkness, out of the despair or the fear. So they are always, always there. But sometimes we need to learn something from a situation. And just knowing that we're not alone, even though that it feels as though they have pulled back, can help us know, oh, this is one of those moments where I need to know how amazing I am. So I'm stepping into it. So we need to take the steps, because they cannot take them for us. And sometimes we need to not even be guided, so that we trust ourselves and our intuition. But you're never alone. Just know that, even if it feels like it, you're just being shown that they trust in you and your power and your ability to truly be you. I'm sorry, the air is coming up now. Yeah. I wish it would be different, that I didn't have to struggle with the energies like that. Yeah, and Freya says, thank you, and a lot of hearts. Like, I have a full rainbow here, and it's in the chakra order, so I love it. Thank you so much. And Marit says, they who do not feel the amazing love, they are numb and too careless. Being okay with things and people as they are, not expecting anything out of the ordinary. So let's see. The question is, they are numb and too careless. So I wouldn't say numb and careless. Those who do not feel the love, some of them either have been put down by others so that they do not believe they deserve it, or they do not know how it feels. People who may not have received unconditional love before are not able to open up to it because they don't know what to look for. So it's that there's something that feels wrong here, and they might shut down because it doesn't feel safe, or they don't feel worthy. And also some people may believe that if they step into the power, they might have to face that they're not always a good person. Like, just like me, I was like, but I may have stolen cigarettes from my mom when I was a kid. How can I work with angels? Then I'm a bad person if you look at all the rules. We have all of these tiny boundaries. And my mom knows this, by the way. She knew it already when we did it. But I did stupid things, but I'm not a bad person. I was evolving and learning and testing boundaries. And many people, for some reason, haven't realized that that's natural. Kids don't know better because they're kids. And some adults, they haven't learned, well, the things that a lot of us learn because we allow ourselves to be kids. And I allow myself to be a kid now as an adult. I allow myself to be curious and investigative and to take sometimes stupid chances, but if it feels right, then it's not stupid. I'm not careless and I'm not numb, but sometimes I forget the amazing connection that I have because there's so much energy here that you can get lost in. And sometimes I just need a new lesson because I'm ready to take the next step, and I need a new perspective to truly understand it. So being okay with things and people as they are, not expecting anything out of the ordinary. I'm not sure I totally understand it. Because why wouldn't you expect a lot of things out of the ordinary? People who are not eager to evolve, who do not find interest in change or development or being of light and love, they're just on a different journey, on a different path. And maybe they're actually part of your path. Maybe they are just there to show you contrast. So maybe they're helping you. Maybe they are light beings in disguise because they show you what it would be like if you didn't step into your light. Maybe they help you appreciate what you have found. So there's a purpose with everything, and everyone has their own journey and their own path. Isn't that amazing? And Sarah, you're here as well. That's so true. So many doubt. For the moment, I thank my guides and Holy Spirits, but it's hard. It's hard when it feels like I'm just alone speaking to myself. Yeah, like I can relate, because when I start this transmission, silence. I want to put in like cricket sound. But in the speaking to yourself, you're showing the surrender and the trust, because you do it. You're not saying, it's not working, nothing's coming, why would I even bother? you're allowing it to come. So you're inviting it in, and you're trusting that if you just open up to it and you take the steps, you're going to get to somewhere, instead of just being stuck there where you were when you decided, I want to move from here. So but I don't get why you have doubt, Sarah, because I have felt your amazing energy and the angel power that's coming through you, and all the well, what you have to give and what you have to receive. It's just amazing. So when you're doubting and when you feel alone, just look for the lesson in that. I wonder what I have already achieved now, so that I'm ready to take the next step. Because I know that every time I feel insecure, every time I feel as though, maybe I'm not good enough, I know it's because I'm scared of the next step. Because it's every time I have that fear of the unknown that I start to pull back. And now that I know it, because I take all of these quantum leaps, so I'm always analyzing, and I'm aware that things are happening and the energy is changing. But now it's my card, my tale here is, I feel insecure. Something in me is ready to spread out its wings and fly and be part of who I am now. And so I take that insecurity and turn that into butterflies in the stomach, and I let it turn into whatever it is I'm supposed to be learning. But just consider, what have I learned? What is settling as a competence or a knowledge, so that I can take on the next step, even though it might be scary. So this is going to be true for many of you, not all of you, because some of you still just have a lot of fear of failure and fear of disappointing yourself. But usually that fear of disappointing yourself is because you're ready to take the next step. Because if you don't take the step, you cannot disappoint yourself, but you actually do. When you're not taking the step, it's as a rejection. So why not just see where it will go? And I'm not saying take a dangerous step or a stupid step, but the natural step in your development. Yeah. And Marit says, we allow ourselves to be kids. Yeah. So, 2 hours and 12 minutes again. That was the same as last time, where I thought an hour and a half tops, but yeah. So thank you so much, because you asked these questions. I am here for you. And if you ask the questions, it's because you want to hear more. Because now I was thinking, oh my God, I don't want to bore people. But I'm here because of you, and you have the questions. So you see, I like to display my doubt and insecurity, so you can see how, wait a minute, 2 hours and 12 minutes, that's too long. People are going to get bored. But wait a minute, people are here and you're asking questions. Why do I do this to myself? And then it's just, I love me, I love you, everything is good. So we're people, we have patterns, and we need to be acknowledged, and it's normal. So just love yourself. No matter what, even in the times when you say something stupid or do something stupid or think something stupid, because sometimes stupid is the best way to wisdom, because we get tired of feeling stupid or being afraid of being stupid. So we can turn it around and say, at least I dared. At least I had the courage to do things that I wasn't sure of. So maybe you can think for yourself, maybe there is no such thing as stupid, unless stupid is dangerous. Dangerous things, that's stupid. But if it's following curiosity and trying something new and just exploring, maybe it's just bravery, being courageous, and being true to myself. So I encourage you all to be brave, to be courageous, to be curious, and sometimes even naive, because sometimes we need that tiny, tiny touch of naivety, because if we don't allow ourselves to believe in things that seem so out there, then we're never going to get out there. And they are out there, our guides. They're so much easier to reach when we believe that we too have the ability to go all the way out there, to another galaxy, to another dimension, to another vibration and frequency. And you have it all, and you are loved. So Sarah says, thank you for the precious suggestions. And I say thank you all for your precious energy and your amazing comments and the questions. They were so great for this topic of loving ourselves, and especially with the insecurities and the doubt, because they're going to evaporate. If we love ourselves enough, then it's okay if we don't know what we're doing all the time, because we're not meant to be perfect. We're meant to learn and to grow and to have fun while doing it. And there's no fun in doubt and insecurity. So this is my guides telling you that you're allowed to make mistakes, because there are never mistakes, and you're allowed to try out. They don't want me to say stupid. What word do you want me to use then? You're allowed to try new things, unbelievable, impossible things, just to see, what am I able to do, to hear, to be, to see, to feel, to get in contact with, that is of the good and for my greater purpose, if I don't set boundaries, if I don't allow others to set boundaries, and if I erase all the boundaries that the society or my family or anyone else has put on me. And now there's always, so songs come to me, and I know my singing voice is not the best in the world, but it's, I believe I can fly, I believe I can touch the sky. Find a tune that you can have, so every time if the doubt comes up, you're training yourself, you're finding a new tune. The whole who am I to, it's amazing how many people have that same tune running. Who am I to think that? Well, I believe in me, or I am light, or just find your tune, and just every time that negative voice or sensation comes up, replace it. Find a better one. Erase it. What do I want instead of this? And then you just have it on repeat until it becomes who you are and what you believe. And then you can put on a new tune for the next step, and the next step, and the next step. And sometimes the same tune works for all the steps if you find one that truly portrays all the amazing things that you are and hold and can be. So okay, this is it for now. So thank you all so much for being here. And I really appreciate anyone who likes this video, so that the algorithms can help others find this. And if you think anyone you know could be interested in this, please share. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. It would help me so much. But come back, watch the other videos, ask your questions. Maybe tell me what you want me to take up in videos, because I'm going to do more of the improv, where I take on topics and it's just like me as a teacher, a tutor, talking about different tools and methods. It's a different version than this live thing, but my guides are still going to be there. So Odeon is always working in the background and making sure that I say the right things. So thank you so much. Have an amazing evening or day or morning or night, or wherever you are in the world and whatever time it is. And I look forward to sensing your energy again. And I love you, and they love you, and you love you. And my higher self is saying thank you for being part of this, and so am I. So until next time, take care. Mwah. Bye-bye.